What's up, dude?
Roma side.
Yeah, man.
What did you say?
Yeah, these are new
yours, huh?
No, I forgot mine. I think it's in the car.
Yeah, because I'm doing this because you never know. Maybe at some point, Kai, when you get excited.
No. When was the last time you shook somebody's hand?
I can't remember, man.
Me too.
Yeah,
it's becoming
Yeah, it is. You have to get used to the whole thing. So TK, it's great to have you on the diary conversation.
Yeah.
Me and
I've
you
never been on a diary song.
What are you gonna say on a diary song?
Oh man, I got so much to say. Man.
I am on diary 3. I did.
I prefer not to name call, but I can do that.
I know you can.
I've got a lot of stories.
No, I know you can. But
no, I think one diary session. You're on 8 now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe 10. When we get to 10, God willing.
Yeah.
It's a producer's
that'll be interesting.
So we're gonna get we'll get
Kikero to do the hook.
We'll get Kikero to do the hook.
I'll do a verse. You do a verse.
Yeah, Charlie sings. He raps.
Yeah.
He raps and sings too.
Yeah.
Let's get all the producers. I know a couple of them who rap, and who else? There's so many. I don't even know.
Would you guys want to hear a diary conversation?
Yeah, producers conversation.
Producers version.
We'll get one of the artists to speak what you always say.
Okay, on my behalf.
Yeah, on your behalf. Or maybe not even one. We'll get like a few of them. They'll say, like maybe B-Flow will come in and say, I know, me and TK had some issues.
Yeah.
I know I got something to say.
TK's always good ideas.
You know what I mean? I'll say whatever I need to say.
That sounds like an idea.
Like, I understand, I hear you.
Yeah. Us being in the game long enough, we've learned so much.
Yeah.
And now we're trying to pave a way for the younger generation coming through. Well, you were there before me, and I learned quite a bit from you,
and I ended up learning from you.
Yeah, a little.
Because it is what it is. Not little. Don't belittle it.
So we
trust me. How it affects me is different. You don't know.
Actually, even when I was doing the diary conversation, you're one of the first people that I approached. I said, I said TK.
You see now. Now you see you and me. No, you're not that tall enough, dude.
It's just like an age difference.
Let's go.
It's just like an age difference. I would have loved to have Charlie Mlalami here too.
Yeah, it would be nice.
But unfortunately, he has a bit of a
bereavement.
A bereavement. You heard about it?
Yeah, no, you told me about it.
Yeah.
You just told me about it.
Unfortunately, I think we can always schedule that for at a time.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's dive into it straight, TK. I've talked about this a couple of times, and you know it, and I know a lot of people don't know how we met. Even prior to our Instagram battle and whatnot, people don't really know that before everything for me, I was a huge fan. 4-4 is my witness, and this is how I remember you. When we're starting off, you by then Roma side, you were in Roma, and I actually remember the first time I met you. I know you won't remember because you used to meet a lot of people. So we used to hear about you. Obviously, I'd heard your music. You were popping, and by then we used to go to sci-fi a lot. But you were popping then. So we were trying to find a way to get to you, and you're in Roma. And at the time we didn't really have money. We were school kids. I was in secondary school.
Roma was all the way down there.
Yeah, I was in my 12th grade. I think you'd completed school then. You were slightly older than me.
No, don't make me sound old, man.
No, but I think the age difference between me and you must be like 2 or 3 years.
Wow.
Maybe 4, I don't know.
Maybe 5.
Well, I don't know, but
maybe you can call me uncle.
Because I completed school in 2001. So if I know when you completed, then I
probably I completed in 97.
Yeah. So 99. Yeah. So it must be like 4 or 5 years. Anyway, so it was difficult to really get money. Transportation then was so hard, and I know a lot of artists also have the same story.
To the studio.
I did come. We actually walked to the studio.
Was it the time I told you about the snare thing?
That's like at a different time frame. That's like So the first time was like I think in 2000. I think 2000 or 2001. 99? No, not 99. Maybe 2000. I think it must have been 2000. So it's one of those where you don't have phones. So we just walked up to the studio, and we kept on asking for direction. And you were known then. You know what I'm saying? And magically we found the place. So we got there. Yeah, we did. So, and I remember that when we got there, then I don't know who was at the reception. But by then the studio was not at the house where, you know, that, because you had moved it. So I think it was in the main house.
In the main house, yes.
So then I said, I want to see TK, and the person that, you know, brought us in was actually very good. Oh, okay, no problem. You can come in and just wait. And you were playing a John D song. I don't even remember John D. Of course you do. I know a lot of people never remember John D. Unless you're from that era.
Yeah, from that era.
You know, and it was popping, and I was listening. I was like, this is dope, you know. Then we just had like a little conversation, but you were very busy. It's like, oh no, I'm busy right now. Then, you know, making inquiries, yada. Then we spoke a little bit. Say, yeah, when you're ready, just hit me up. You were very, actually, when I met you for the first time, you were very nice, and, you know, we had a proper conversation, and, you know, that's how we left. And that's the first time I met you. Then the next time I met you is when I started working for the radio station. I started working for QFM. That's like 4 or 5 years later. You know, then you were running the show by the time, you know, like Exile had his first album out, and, you know, like,
so that was the time now you came to the studio.
That's the time I came to the studio. Now, that's when we became friends.
Now let me say that story, because I remember when you came into the studio, there were a couple of guys in the studio. I can't remember what I was working. What was I working on?
I can't. It's a long time.
But I was playing a track, and I was trying to mix and at the same time reproduce a track. And then you said something. You made a statement about a reverb. I don't know if you knew that time that you're a producer in the making.
I didn't know, but I knew that I had some interest. I said I like.
So here I am. I'm playing this track, right? And I'm working, and you guys were seated behind me. So I at that moment, you know, when you get in the zone, you really don't care who's behind you and whatever. So I'm busy making whatever, and then you said, I put a reverb to something. Then you're like, wow,
I love the reverb on the snare.
That's a good reverb on the snare. I love that reverb. Then I stopped it. Then I turned.
So who is this guy?
I was like, dude. You remember what I said? What did I say?
It's like,
I pointed at you and I said, you got to be a producer. You got to be a producer. You got to be a producer. And then
I received the blessings.
You didn't. I bet you didn't know then. But I stopped the music and I said, "You're gonna be a producer."
And then I had an idea.
Later on, I remember you were hosting. Was it Jonto? A show at Polo Grill then.
But you know, prior to that, so how we became friends is, so when I started frequenting your studio, you knew that I was working for QFM, and you know what I'm saying. So, and you know, Jonto was trying to push his music there, and I remember I was the first guy that
to play.
And the song that made Jonto big was a song that he did with Monique. DJ Honey.
DJ Honey now.
So I remember I was in the studio and you played it and I was like, this is dope. And I remember telling you know what, this should be the first single. So I think so. Then you gave it to me, then I went and I started pushing it. So that's how me, you and Jonto now became very good friends.
And then you hosted that thing.
Then
and when you hosted, what did I tell you?
What did you tell me?
I told you, I said, you're one of the best MCs I've ever seen. That time you were lanky, man.
Yeah,
you were so small with the knock knees.
Oh, come on, get out of here.
Busy making. I'm like, this boy got energy, man. I was like, ah, man, you're a package, man. I remember that.
So after that, I also hosted the Exile. I don't know whether it was the first or second album. I think it must have been second album.
The one at
ISL.
Yes,
that was second album.
Yeah. We got rest in peace to DJ LBC. With Cash.
Cash. Yes. So it was Cash.
So when we were having the meeting, I told them I want KB. I was like, KB gotta be our MC.
Man.
We come a long way.
So that's how it all started for me. And here's the thing, and I've told this story a couple of times, and that's how I managed to put money together for studio equipment.
I remember you used to call me a lot.
So I met the
What can I buy?
I remember.
Chilu told me. You went to SA, you met up with Chilu. But the guy that took me around was Muya. So Muya, yes.
Muya is the one that took me around, and I remember buying these Yamaha speakers. I bought, these were the first Yamaha speakers, and I loved them. So when I moved from this, I upgraded to the bigger.
I can see Yamaha.
That's the only speakers I've ever used. I've only used Yamaha.
You're good.
So like I said, I made the chunk of the money from the tour that we did for Danny. Danny was doing an album launch for the song that had that as long as
The one which was branded by a name brand.
Then and there was a big song that Exile was on Mazoi. I remember there was a song called Mazoi. Did you produce any song from that album?
That album I don't know.
That's not the album where there's no Lil, right? That's not the album, yeah? No, that's not the one. But so we went on tour. That was before I started producing. So we went on tour for that Danny album launch, like countrywide tour. So we went all over the country, and so the package was pretty good. So after about 3 months, 3 or 4 months, we were done. Then I was given my chunk of money, and I had like.
Because I remember Daniel was there at Polo Grill.
Yeah,
the time you were hosting.
Yeah, he was.
And I told him. We spoke about it. I was like, this boy is good.
Yeah. So that's how he contacted me.
Yeah, that's how he contacted you.
So it's like he would do like if you have like a corporate guy coming in, so he's the guy too. I did a lot of MCing jobs.
I remember.
Like from 2000
People don't know that. Do they know that?
Well, some because I didn't do it for too long. So when I started my studio, I kind of took like I didn't do a lot because they were offering me very little money. So
but
so I got off the radar. So I got off the radar. So the other guys that came in, started getting recommendation. But but I was the man. Like I remember, I used to do all the Miss. Like I did Miss Horn, Miss Unza, Miss Nipa, Miss Greenwood. I pretty much did everything with a guy called, I don't know if you remember. This guy, the one that had the boutique in Cairo Road.
Oh, Envogue,
yeah. What, Theo?
Yeah. What's up? Shout out to Theo. Where's
he's in South Africa now.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So that's how it all started for me. So basically, most of it was just inspired from what we saw from you guys, you, Charlie, and what I'm saying. And, we got inspired, and that's how I got inspired to start making my own music. But at the time when I was starting, I wasn't even thinking because when you guys were having your run, then you guys had like a run for like 10 years straight, no competition. It was either TK or Charlie. Then James Cooler was also kind of in the mix as well. Jerry Fingers was also in the mix as well.
Yeah, Jerry has been around for a long time.
Jerry actually produced our first song ever. Jerry and Inferno. Remember Inferno?
Yeah, Inferno. Yeah, who doesn't?
Yeah, I think that was like.
Shout out to Inferno.
Shout out to Inferno.
No man, I remember that, man. Hey, Jerry, we used to speak a lot. I mean, I remember Maureen Lander used to tell me, man, Jerry speaks highly of you.
For real?
I love that guy. I mean, I respect Jerry. I mean, you know what I mean? And then
I'm talking of Jerry. Sorry, speaking of Jerry, when that song Doubting came out, the first time when that song Doubting came out, he actually loved it. So I remember when we used to go for when Smooth IK used to do those Born and Bred meetings at ZMBC.
Yes.
So we met. So Jerry Fingers met me after a long time. I think you remember. Okay, what do you play? Long time, and have you been? I said, I love that song that you did. When I said Doubting, it's like, the chords, those ninth chords, and I was like, what is he talking about? It sounds so technical.
Musical.
At the time I didn't even understand what I was doing. It's just I just had everything in my mind that's how you do it. And so when I started to learn that, I was like, that's what I did there. That's what I practical. Like for me, because I heard a lot of R&B music, so I knew how I wanted sound to sound, so it was easier for me to learn production because I already had an imaginative mind,
and that's the most important thing.
Yeah, that's the most important. I mean, you and me are kind of similar. We both have never really been the great keyboard players or local guitar player. You know what I'm saying? I see that. I've seen people that play with the keys pretty well, but I think we're done pretty well for ourselves.
No, we try, and there's always a lot to learn. You always learn every day. That's why it's sometimes it's very important to be very receptive to new ideas, to people coming up, with ideas, and you can't be the know-it-all.
Yeah, that's true.
You get what I'm saying? I was watching a documentary of one of the legends that made me start. Made me start producing music?
No, tell me.
Quincy Jones.
Nice. So Quincy Jones again?
Quincy Jones. I was a fan of the Thriller album. I only knew about Off the Wall after Thriller.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's when I started reading about him. You know, it was one of those things where everybody was looking at Michael.
I looked up to
him. I was always a person that looked behind the...
But that was the 80s, yeah?
Yeah, I was the 80s, man. I was young.
So I used to look at the credits. Up to now, I'm a fanatic for credits. I want to know who's behind what.
Who done that?
Because you see, at the end of the day, the product might. How can I call it? Maybe it might blind you because you look at it and it's perfect without understanding the nitty-gritties, who's behind what. So, if in order for you to know how to do great, you have to understand that it's a collective effort, so you need to know who's who and who's what, and you follow them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
See what they're all about. Then you understand that even in your circle, you might need certain people. You might meet a person and shun them down without realizing that that is the person that's going to help you grow.
True.
You know what I mean? So you need to understand people with the working formula. So my inspiration was Quincy. Man, I didn't know how much Quincy did until I watched that thing on Netflix. Man, the guy is amazing.
No, he is. I mean, but we didn't have Netflix then, so how did you follow his music?
I used
just the tapes?
Yeah, I would go the records.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would just look at Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones, everything Quincy Jones. So I became a fan of Quincy. Quincy to me was more of an idol than Michael.
Okay.
Because I understood that Michael was a
So you already knew you were going to become a producer?
Yes, I used to say
difference.
producer. I never even used to say producer. My sister would always say producer, not productor. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I knew. So that is what that drove me. And I remember I made my first beat, I think I was probably 7.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I made my first beat when I was about 7. We started a group.
That was in the 80s?
Yeah, in the 80s, bro.
Oh my God.
80s, 90s. I can't remember when.
Oh my God.
Don't expose my age, man.
No, man.
What's
That's
wrong with you?
No, that's now I see why people are saying that's unfair, parent. How can you put TK and K?
No. It was just. I mean, at the end of the day, listen, man.
Yeah.
It is what it is, man. You've done your work. Yeah. At the end of the day, anyway, let's not talk about that. Yeah. I'm telling you a story. Yeah. So, like when I made my first beat, we even started a group called True For Real. I was the producer. I became a rapper.
So you were like the Dr. Dre of your...
Yeah. Thanks to my brother, Q-Star.
Yeah.
Who pioneered the group and whatnot. So, yeah, we started this group called True For Real. I was the producer. I was the youngest. I remember even recording my first verse. It was at home on our microphone, but I was nervous. You know what I mean? So I get it when I see artists coming to the studio and they're nervous, because I was nervous on a microphone that belongs in the house at home.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was, but yeah, we did that True For Real thing, took us out of the country.
Oh, you even took it out of the country?
Yeah, we went to SA, did some shows there.
Nice.
Zim did some shows there.
Are you for
competition. Real? Yeah, won a competition.
Which year was that? This must be in the 90s.
93, I think.
Are you kidding me?
Man, when Radio Phoenix was starting, it was us. I remember Chilo Lemba that time, Bongo the Sharpshooter.
Pioneers, man.
Yeah, man, it was us. They used to just play True
Listen, we've never discussed this before. You've never told me this side of you.
Yeah.
And I've known you all these years.
Nah, guys know.
Wow.
I mean, like, I used to go to Bob Marley memorial concerts.
Yeah.
When I was like 7, 8. I used to play bass.
Are you kidding me?
I used to play bass.
Oh, you used to play bass?
Yes, I used to play bass. In my brother's group, my late brother Kevin, may so rest in peace, and Roderick,
Kevin, I remember. Kevin used to play keyboard, right?
Yeah, I used to play keyboard. Yeah, I played for Bishop.
Bishop, yeah, he was really, really good. May so rest in peace. I remember
even Wako Jam with the late Russ Willie, may so rest in peace too. Yeah, so they would take me. I didn't know that was a gimmick. I used to, because what would happen is every time when they're writing a song in the studio, like Kevin would be writing all the songs, so you have his rhythm guitar there. That time I used to play guitar. It was basically reggae. So my friends are playing outside, they're playing soccer, I want to go play with my friends. It's like, okay, just for 30 minutes, just play some bass, I want to get the feeling. So I'll be there playing bass like, oh, this guy is troubling me, without realizing that he was building. So whenever they would have a show, I would go to the shows. I used to love music. Bran Chengala, shout out to him, he'll tell you about that. Bran Chilala knew about it, may so rest in peace too, man. We lost so many people in the game. Yeah, so I would go there, I was so young, I didn't know what would happen, but they would call me here, like the bass guy would be like, listen, I want to change the mix. So you put me on the speaker. I was so short then. Put me on the speaker, give me
You were small, bass. You were young.
I was young. Put me on the speaker, give me the bass, start playing. I did not know I was a gimmick. I only realized it later. I was a gimmick. These guys would say, we roll with a small boy who plays. So every time when I start playing, I would notice people stop dancing, and I'm like, am I not doing the right thing here? What's going on here?
But I used to get intrigued.
Yeah, like, who's this young boy? All I would see is after my playing, I would get a lot of Fanta, a lot of food, you know what I mean?
And for you, that was a win-win.
So I didn't care. I was like, I'm just helping out. So this fame thing for me wasn't really, I didn't really understand it, you know what I mean? I never did it for fame.
Yeah.
So I grew up with that, you know what I mean? So it was one of those things where it's just a passion.
Yeah.
You grew up with it, and then thanks to my late parents, they supported me. You know what I mean? They supported me, and to get me off the streets. I mean, my neighborhood was crazy at the time I was growing up. Roma was crazy, man.
So you predominantly grew up in Roma?
Man, there was a
same place?
Yeah. Oh no, I was at another place, but within Roma. That place was crazy. I mean, if you remember in the early 90s, mid 90s, there was a lot of stories about that place. The president's son then. And when you watch the news,
Castro?
Yeah, may so rest in peace.
Yeah,
there were a lot of stories going on about that place. I mean, I'll be chilling with friends, right?
Yeah.
Then I'll be like, man, let me go. I feel like going to play music, so I'll leave them, go play music. Then I'm watching the 19 hours news, and in other news in Roma, so and so were picked up by DC, without knowing that they were actually carrying stuff. So I'm there chilling with them, having a drink.
So you didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
So that would have got into trouble.
Yeah.
So
music was my scapegoat.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So my parents understood that.
Wow.
So that's the reason why they would give me time to say,
go do
this is your passion.
Yeah.
They bought me a bit of equipment. It's gonna keep him busy and off the streets.
They actually bought you the first equipment.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have the money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's how it was. So I'd go back to my music, and then that's how I got to meet people like Castro. He would come over. He used to rap.
Oh, he
used to rap.
You know the one I remember?
He would jump the wall fence from the
I remember. Wait, before I lose my...
His bodyguards would actually drive to my gate.
Yeah.
Because he would jump the fence, and they can't jump the fence, so they would actually come round.
Yeah.
And would come over.
The one I know that used to rap is a younger brother.
Yes.
He used to call himself Blackheart.
The guy who had the dyed hair.
He also looked like Castro.
Yeah.
He was real, but I think he
came over to the studio as well with Crisis.
I knew him from Cypher Music.
Yeah.
He used to come then when what's his name? The owner of Cypher, I've forgotten his name. Chila. Yeah, Chila
Penza.
So he had all that connection, and that's why he used to call himself Blackheart. I don't know if Blackheart. He's the one that I knew that used to.
That's where Crisis knew him from. So
I didn't know that Castro used to rap.
No, Castro used to rap a lot. He used to love rapping.
I had no idea.
He used to do it for fun, man.
I had no idea.
I mean, he was a troublesome guy. I mean, so rest in peace. I mean, he was young.
Yeah, but
everything's happening.
I never met him personally.
But I never had a negative encounter with him, because the first time he met me, I was rapping, so he loved that. From that time, we kicked it. He would come over, hey man, play me some jams, raps. He hears himself rap. He never even cared where the music goes, as long as he hears himself rap. And that's it.
Yeah, I know.
Hey man, thank you. Yeah, rap it,
Yeah.
I'm Tupac of Zambian.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
know. Yeah. That's interesting, man. I mean, I know the other side, but this whole thing of you playing the bass and being young, I've never really, conversation. But I also know that at the time when you guys were coming up, you kind of had like a friction with Cypher Music. So for those that were there at the time, know about it. And this was the time, and this was the time, before you get into this, was the time that I met Exile. So I don't know where Exile was at the time, because Exile used to come to Cypher Music to record. He actually even had a song that he recorded. I actually remember some of the lines. You were talking about, I come with an IFA track, block the road, Chanchanuko.
He used to be a rapper.
He used to be a rapper. He had like cornrows. He was like really dope. I remember meeting Exile the first time.
I met him as a rapper as well.
Ray Grams, we all knew him as a rapper. Yeah.
It's only when. Anyway, let me know. It's So Lucky is what changed that.
Yeah, I know. And
he told me
I heard So Lucky, I was like,
I can sing, and he did that song.
That was the first song he did?
Yeah, that's the first singing song that he used to rap. You know what I mean? Then he said, no, I can sing, man. I want to do a song for somebody.
That's how he sang the song?
Yeah, that song wasn't supposed to be out, like commercial. He did it for someone. Then that somebody is the one who told him, do don't you doing this song for me? This is a hit. Take it to radio. And then I just gave him a CD, one CD, and then it went all over. I don't know how. It just went viral on its own.
Well, good song is a good song.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? Then it gave us the pressure. Like, oh, let's work on this album then.
Yeah.
Then the second song that we produced.
Conversation. Oh my God.
And you know, it was so amazing that
classics.
It was so amazing that So Lucky, when the album came out, So Lucky was Song of the Year.
Yeah, I remember.
Then following year,
Actually, Conversation was Song of the Year 2 years in a row. Yeah, 2 years in a row. I remember.
Yeah, the only album that did that. I'm not bragging.
Yeah, no, it is. Oh no, hands down. You know, for me, Exile, that album till today,
man.
You know,
it was. There was a lot of challenges when we were recording that album. And you know, at the end of the day, like I told you, passion beats everything. You know what I mean? When you're doing it, you're not doing it to me. We never even thought money, we never even thought, I mean, this is going to change things. This guy can actually sing, and he's speaking sense. You know, he's speaking from, you know, I've got this thing about being genuine. You know, some people, when they get into the studio, they want to make a song. Oh, no, because people want to hear this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's different. But when you're making a song, not because people want to hear it, but you want to tell a story. Yeah. It's more like you're trying to give back to the community. You're trying to, you know, you're trying to put a footprint of your life, you know what I mean, of you, you know, on the market. It's not about just making songs so that you can make a hit. No.
True.
You want to speak. You want to tell people a story about you so others will be inspired. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like giving advice.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's true.
Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
So that was me and Exile.
That was a revelation. And you know this, and I'm gonna say this here. You know, just from there, TK, I don't remember you making a song that I felt like didn't do well. Everything you did, like even when I go to the studio, when I hear anything I heard, like even when that song that you did for JK, when JK kind of came to you, put yourself in our shoes.
Put yourself in my shoes.
I don't even know why you didn't play that.
JK had, you know, I think when we're doing that song, you know, JK is a singer.
Yeah,
he loves to sing, but then at that time I think he had priorities when it comes to which songs to push. You know what I mean? He had a certain style that he preferred to put out, and then the others will be like, no, I'm not interested. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But that song did very well, actually.
Yeah, it did. I liked it. I remember.
Yeah.
I can't remember what inspired us to do that song though.
No, it's a long time. But yeah, you did so many things. I don't think you remember everything. So moving on from that, I remember after that, then, you know, I started making music. Then I think you were a little shocked, like, can't be making music? And I know a lot of people used to get shocked, like, this QFM, he's a radio DJ, like a QFM DJ.
No, but I knew that you're gonna make music.
But a lot of people didn't believe it. Like, a lot of people, actually, I had people that I think for the next 6-7 years, like, oh, he doesn't produce the music himself. I don't think he does. I think Daxon produces the music for him or whatever.
No, everybody.
Like they didn't really believe that.
You know what it is. It's like I always have this saying, man. I say it to myself. I've never read it anywhere, but the clever ask the questions. The dull have the answers.
So you came up with that?
Yeah. You know, the clever will say, how did he do that? How did it happen? How did he manage? How did he? But then the dull ones will be like, uja, tizi, niso, uja, nivaso.
That's a good
you know what I
saying.
mean?
That's true.
Yeah. So me and you, I mean, I've had history with a lot of producers, man. You know, like, I can tell you, Charlie, I wish he was here.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a history.
Yeah,
what used to happen is that time I was with Nexus. I was with Nexus. We're doing that thing with KMT. Shout out to KMT. You know, so Charlie wanted to start producing, and Charlie was a similar situation. Charlie came to my
So you started to produce before Charlie?
Yes. Wow. Charlie came to me as an artist.
And he is a good singer.
He had this song, I can't remember the title, but let me tell you, for the first time, people would come to me and tell me, you know, I used to work with TiVo. TiVo would come to me and tell me, yo, I want the track to sound like this, I want the track to sound like this, you know what I mean? We'll get some reference from the track here, let's get the snare from there, you know what I mean? It was different. But with Charlie, he was giving me everything from the mind. He told me, I want my drum to sound like this. I played. I was just basically an engineer. who was working with the keyboards and everything. He didn't know how to use Cubase or any one of these DAWs, nothing. So he's telling me exactly how he wants it. I want some strings. They should go like this, and I'll play them. Oh yeah. You can add a bit of something if you want, but I want them. You know what I mean? And the track sounded good.
So he played the strings himself?
He was playing them from the brain.
Oh, okay.
And he was giving me what to play. Like, can you play like that? And I'll play it as he wants them. And for the first time, I had that experience. Okay, that was before I worked with Tivo and them, yeah? But for the first time, I had that experience where I'm like, wow, dude, you literally produced this without playing anything. You get what I'm saying? I was impressed. The sound was good. I was happy, you know what I mean? And then he was rapping.
Oh, he was rapping?
Yeah, he was rapping then. He had this song. It was a conversation between him, God, and the devil.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's Charlie.
Yeah. So you had this concept.
Oh,
and
nice
I'm like, where's this guy from? You know what I mean? Who does a track like that? Very intriguing at the same time, very... it's it's a little bit daring, you know what I mean? Like, who does a track like that? And he was, that time I remember, I was more inclined, he was a gospel artist, basically, you know? So he had this very intriguing song. So I told him the same thing. I said, you know what, you just deserve to be a producer. You literally played everything here, and you're writing everything, you're doing everything. I'm just basically your engineer right now. So and your session player, obviously. So I was like, you know what, you need to learn how to do this. And I got busy. So he got a bit frustrated, you know.
Oh, so he wanted you to teach him?
No, he didn't want to learn at that time. He just wanted his tracks out. But I had so much work going on. So
which year was this?
I can't remember. Maybe he can remember.
Late 90s, maybe?
Yeah, you continue this conversation in the next diary with him.
Okay.
So anyway, yeah, so now I'm at Nexus. Then he buys a computer and everything, and he tells me, no, dude, what you said, I want you to help me learn how to use this equipment. So what I'll do is that I'll get artists. I had a lot of artists at Nexus. I had these projects going on, a lot of artists coming through. So what I started doing...
Which project? I think I remember. Which project?
The time we're doing the Nexus compilation.
I remember.
With Alubusu.
I remember.
We had that Mampi, the first song that Mampi ever did.
Is that where there was Kumau as well?
Yeah, we had a lot of artists. I can't remember how many.
Even
I didn't produce.
You didn't produce everything.
No, I didn't produce everything. We got Easy Mike. Remember Easy Mike? He's still around.
I don't think I remember Easy Mike.
Easy Mike. Whose brother? Easy Mike is a brother too. He's a brother to. Is it? What's the guy name? The guy who did Kakabarika, I think. Isn't that the what's the name? Not Chameleon, but the other dude. What's the name?
Bob Molly.
Bob Molly. I think they're brothers. I think.
Seriously?
It was Bob Molly. Hey, forgive me if I'm wrong, but yeah. So Easy Mike, shout out to him. He was there. We did some whatever. So what I'll do is I'll get some artists from the studio, and I say, let's go and pay studio time at Sling Beats. So pay studio time at Sling Beats, and then we'll share with spoils with Charlie. And I'm like, I'm gonna work with them, just sit and learn and watch. I never been to school, so I can't explain the house. So just sit, and where you don't understand,
you ask the question. Wow.
So that's how it was. I went there, did whatever. That's how Charlie got into producing.
That's interesting, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's how he got into the business.
Yeah, that's how.
So it was through you?
Well, he already had it in him.
Still,
all I just did is that I helped him.
You the real goat, man.
Yeah, I just helped him understand what he needed to do, you know, for himself. The next thing, he starts churning out hits. I do things, and I'm like, wow, this guy is doing things. You know what I mean? I cannot. Trust me. I got inspired to a point where some of the tracks that I'll produce, I'll be like, okay, what would Charlie do here? And you know, the thing is that every time he would have a record, like an album out, before he drops it, you know what I mean,
he'll come to you.
Come to me. Or the Chameleon.
That happened with me as well. So when we became friends, that was the order of the business, because I knew Charlie at the time when he was doing the Aussie. At the time I was doing Aussie.
Yeah, he got Aussie off me.
Aussie was with you?
Yeah, because I did that Backstabber for that.
Yeah, I remember you did Backstabber.
Yeah, so he called me and he's like, I like to work with that boy. That boy did Backstabber. I think I've got an idea. I've got ideas for him. So I said, yeah. So you know what I mean? I told him, I gave him contacts and whatnot. And I think Aussie that time was in Kawe. I don't know how it worked out their end, but I remember having that conversation with him. So yeah, I got Aussie, and man, those guys started churning out hits. But every time before he drops an album, he'll bring it to me. I remember when I was listening to the Amo album, he brought it over, and I told him, and you know, because I think he trusted the fact that I'm a very honest person. You know what I mean? I'll tell him, this, that. You know what I mean? We've had our differences. I won't speak about them.
You had the differences? I would love to hear at least one.
I would have loved him to be here. You know what I mean?
No, but he's also going to tell us what the difference. We would love to hear.
No, maybe.
That's what, listen, it's a
maybe
direct,
he remembers it different.
It's direct conversation.
No, we've had differences.
No.
But we've never had a difference between you.
No, me and you have never had a difference before.
Maybe not even over a woman. Nothing.
You want to tell me about it? Have we?
No, I don't know.
Did you ever get pissed?
No.
Did we ever date the same girl? Did we?
No comment.
No, I think we did. I think we did.
You know we did.
I think I know where you're going. That was a long time ago. But I don't think that...
Yeah, but that doesn't define.
Maybe inside, maybe you're not happy about it. I don't know.
No.
Because you never said anything.
No. Listen,
you never said anything.
No, listen.
I didn't say anything.
No. What defines us is how we. It's a direct session, bro.
Oh my god.
So anyway, so that's how it was with Charlie, for instance. You know what I mean? So I did that with a lot of art, with a lot of even Crisis. I remember Crisis. He used to work a lot with. There's that keyboard called Triton. At that time, it was like the ish, So at Mondo they had Triton, and it had samplers and everything. That's how I learned. Even from him, I learned how to use samples. Like I can give you an example when I was doing that Way on Aneo. Yeah. I used a lot of samples in the remix because of Crisis. I used to watch how he used to do things.
Yeah, because Crisis was the master of samples.
Yeah. At the same time, I learned how to work with the DAW, which was Cubase at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He learned how to work with the DAW because he was mainly the Triton guy. You know what I mean? Even for the Rhythm Nation, he did a lot of work there with that keyboard, and it was amazing. But with MKV that time, Manasseh, whatever he calls himself now.
MKV.
Same thing. You know what I mean? I worked with a lot of Knox. You remember Knox?
But TK, I want to know what differences you had with Charlie. I mean, I'm gonna sit down.
No, it's very petty.
What was it about?
No, it was very petty. We'll talk about it later. It was very petty.
It must have been crazy for you not to want
No, but I brushed it off, and then we ended up forgetting about it. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's what men do.
Yeah, we ended up forgetting about. Okay, you know what? I can tell you. It was one of those things where I used to take clients to him, and I'm teaching him. He's supposed to be paying me, but I'm paying him. Then there was a time I was stuck. I needed some work to be done, and I went to him, and I'm like, dude, I want to use. Can you allow me to use a studio? And he wanted me to pay for it.
Charlie has always been a businessman.
Yeah, I understand. I understood that. I can't take it away from him. You don't do favors for people in expecting to get something
Charlie's
back.
Always been a businessman.
You know what I mean? Expecting to get something back. And I was like, this dude, you know what I mean? But I realized that, okay, that's him.
And that has
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I grew past that. We still went right. I mean, he's an amazing guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Before I lose my thought, TK, and that reminds me, Charlie is the first guy that taught me about how to copyright your music when you're taking it to Zamcorps, and how you need to.
Exactly.
He's the first guy that sat me down.
So you see, he taught me something too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because
I learned that from him.
Yeah, he's one of the only few guys.
Even when the artists used to complain,
understood. Yes, he's the only guy who understood. Yes, he knew that I'm writing these songs, and that's the reason why. I mean, he did an amazing job.
No, he did. You're right.
It's not like he was. I mean, he had a lot of other producers.
Yeah, of course, we know that.
I mean, those.
There was this guy that is in Europe.
Amoba produced like 3/4 of the Mampi album, for instance.
Yeah, Amoba produced.
What
about the other guy?
But he was writing.
What about the other guy, the one in Europe? What's his name?
Chipo.
Yeah, Chipo. Chipo also produced a lot of
Chipo is the one who actually did
Shelena, the first one, yeah. He did that together with Francis.
Yeah, then you did the remix.
Then Charlie was doing the writing, and then he knew how to go and register.
Yeah.
Whilst the other guys expected
we had no idea.
Yeah, so you see, that's why I'm saying that, our difference, it was, you don't do a favor for somebody expecting a favor in return.
Yeah.
You need to stick to, he taught me that.
Yeah.
And it's not like I hold it against him and I say, that time I just didn't know. I was naive.
Yeah.
And he just did what he had to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You actually even gave me the first contract. Like after that, then I was like, I wanna. Then you showed me the contract. Oh, this is how it is.
Yeah. Just about.
But unfortunately, Ticket, between me and you, unfortunately, this contract business have never really worked.
I
don't think it's worked for you. It has never worked for me.
No, listen. A lot of people.
It has never worked for me.
I want to say it right now.
I want to say it too. This is conversation we're having here. I want to have that conversation.
The thing is that a lot of people been asking me. I meet a lot of people and they're saying, TK, what's going on? You're not producing music. What's cutting?
Yeah.
What's happening? It's not even because I don't want to produce music, but I want to do it the right way. But not a lot of artists are willing to work with my conditions.
Yeah.
I've been to. I took a trip to SA. I went to meet people, see how it's done. It's a normal thing. You produce a track. Man, some producers don't even get paid to produce.
Yeah.
People pay for studio time, but a producer will work. As long as you're working with an 80s artist, you expect your money through royalties.
So can you explain that? So
it's about publishing.
Yes. So there's production fee. There's what you pay to make the music.
Yeah. That is an advance. It's called an advance.
Then you are entitled to royalties when the song comes out.
There's that producer. He's done some amazing stuff. It's amazing that a lot of people here in Zambia don't know him. Let me just get his name. I want to get his name straight.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he's a Zambian boy, young too, from Kalundu. M major.
Major. Minor major.
Minor is what's his name?
The guy that produced the Shekinah song.
Yeah, Emond. His name is Emond.
His Instagram handle is Minor Major.
Minor Major.
Yeah.
Very good producer. He's done a lot of work.
Yeah, I've met him.
A lot of people don't know him.
Yeah.
But
I'm starting to know him now.
Well, we met him together. Remember?
Yeah, we did.
When we were doing that thing for Oxfam.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember.
So, he spoke about it too. We had a conversation because he's in that game. He's there.
In South Africa.
So, you see, a lot of artists have gone
and he's still getting his income.
I cannot lie to you. A-list artists, Zambian A-list artists, I won't mention any names here.
But we know them.
Yeah. Dude, I came back from SA and I'm telling him, so we need to finish those tracks and then we just need to sign some contracts. Dude never came back to the studio. Next thing I know, the same track that I gave him just to go listen to and mixed, still working on it, he released it. Because he just didn't want to come sign a contract. They expect you to survive off, I don't know how much you charge for. There's studio time.
Yeah.
Studio time is one thing. But production is something that you cannot buy off. Mm-hmm. You can get an advance.
Yeah.
Just a few months ago, I was giving Stash a contract. Mm-hmm. I had a chat with him. He called me up. He's like, dude, I know, big man, you work with a lot of people.
I've had that conversation with him too.
I've given him a contract, said, work with this. But I know a lot of artists wouldn't want to do it. That's why a lot of producers now, what is that, like what you're doing with the diary.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, that's you being clever.
Do you know how I ended up that? Sorry. I ended up on that because I got frustrated. Yeah. I got frustrated to a point where I didn't see the benefit. Like every time you put out a contract, you try to make the artist understand. I know the fact that we're not really making that kind of money here. So because the artist is going to make money through the shows. So you're expecting royalties. Like even the royalties are very...
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the royalties are not that good. So I had to find a way that I would start to benefit off my catalog and the music that I make. And I just started to make my own music.
If you look at people like Swiss Beats, Timberland, shout out to them, man. Those guys are doing major things.
That's
but you see why? Yes, it's because of good catalogs. Yeah. And those catalogs are paying them. You understand what I'm saying? When you make a beat, what's a song without a beat?
Nothing.
You know what I mean?
It's like a human being with no clothes.
Yeah. And you go to, honestly speaking, I'm going to say this out loud, man. Zamcops need to work up. Need to work hard. They need to wake up. Honestly. Yeah. Zamcops is not doing a lot when it comes to publishing.
But there's a new management.
I want to say this.
There's a new management
I think they need our help.
But there's a new management.
Let me not shout. Maybe we need to go and meet them. But the last time I was there.
Yeah, no, the last time there were copyright problems and...
Dude, we did this track. You remember that track we did with...
where I had B-Flow, Ozzy and the guys from Norway.
I remember the song. Yeah, I know the song.
Yeah, we're working with Carl.
Yeah, Carl from Norway.
So, we started that idea. Actually, that verse that B-Flow did was supposed to be JK's. So B-Flow wrote a verse assuming that, okay, JK will come and do it. But then we ended up keeping it because JK was busy at that time. I don't remember. But anyway, that track has generated a lot of royalties. And those royalties cannot reach us because Zamcops is not in the system. The world cannot identify Zamcops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody, if you're signed, if you're registered with Zamcops, you've got an IP number that is supposed to be shared everywhere. When
the music plays anywhere,
yes,
you get your income.
Dude, some guy had to fly from Norway, came to Zambia. He even went on Smooth Talk. I think Smooth IK can remember Carl. Carl went there and he outrightly said Zamcops ain't doing nothing for the industry. But you see, that's a secret. Publishing is very important. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But there's a new management team. I think Ebo and his team are kind of trying to.
We need to go and
have that
conversation.
Yeah.
And I think what we need to do is that we need to get some corporates involved. Let's get some people come here. Let's do a workshop.
Yeah.
And then we change the system completely.
Yeah.
I've been to Zamcops and that lady, I've forgotten her name and I won't even say it even if I remembered it, would always say, no, our system does not support producers. And I'm like,
I remember that.
You're stupid.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And that's for me, that was so disappointing because I'm thinking, and the artists, this is what used to hurt me the most. The artists would, luckily, Alpha would always come and say, oh, I've been called to pick up my royalties. And Alpha was he's always been a loyal guy. And he told me, I said, how much you get? And I got this. And can you hold this, for...
I remember.
But the other artists will not even tell you. They would secretly go get their royalties.
And it's not supposed to be the case. And
how is that supposed to disadvantage a producer? This is the only country I've seen.
Yeah.
But I'm told now everything is going to change. Like, that is going to be included. And, producers
you see, as a producer, it's already been there. You're a composer.
Yeah, you're a composer.
You're a composer. You're not just an arranger. You're a composer. What's a song without a beat?
Yeah, that's true.
Even drums is composition, dude. You know what I mean? I remember when I took... I was registering, I think it was Harm's Way, the first one. I wrote on those sheets and I took it to them and they're like, no, but how come here there are two names? How come? And I'm like, were you there? Have you ever made a song? And they're like, you're being funny, Tiki. I'm like, no, for real. What can you tell me about? You don't know. You know what I mean? You're just stuck here in an office, I had to go register with Samro. I've registered with Samro because of that stuff.
Samro's from where?
It's SA.
So you had to just go register elsewhere? Wow.
You see? But you see, there are disadvantages to that. What if my music doesn't get to that market?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
And the royalty that comes at the end of the year is...
there's a lot of things that need to change.
It's like a job.
There are a lot of things that we need to change.
The excuses that we get is that some stations don't pay on time. Some have gone years without paying.
That's a lot of bull. That's fake, bro.
Anyway, you know what I'm thinking? I think this would be very unfair. We're talking from the previous administration. Now there's no administration.
No, I think we need
it would be nice to have this conversation.
Yeah, let's call that another conversation.
It would be nice for me to sit down with Ebo.
I've got nothing against an individual.
Yeah, no, I know. It's the whole setup.
The whole setup.
No, I know what you mean. I mean,
we need to identify.
Calling a spade is right.
You need to identify a weakness. Once you know the weakness, then you focus on the strengths.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So we need to accept that yes, there are things that we're not doing well.
Yeah.
I remember I had a conversation with Ponchano Kaiche in Avondale, and he told me that the first time he went to ZNBC to perform, he was actually paid a royalty. You get my point? So what happened? Now, I mean, you can't say that people don't love Zambian music. They still do.
I think they just preyed on people's ignorance.
Exactly. So then there's a problem. You get my point? We need to fix it. We need to fix it. And you see, the thing is that at the end of the day, it's not just affecting us or me and as an individual. It's affecting the whole industry and it's affecting the economy. Because if my music is going to play, I had a song which was number 4 on BBC One Extra, top 10 African. tunes. The only Zambian song. That song I did with Israel, featuring Israel. Ndalama, Apuna, Chabi. I remember LBC called me, the late, may so rest in peace once again. He called me and he's like, dude, your song is at number 4. DJ Edo has been playing you. And even sent me screen grabs. DJ Edo tweeting at that number 4. These guys have got all the information. I've never spoken to this dude in my life. You understand what I'm saying? He's a DJ, West African DJ, based in the UK, hosting the top 10 African tunes. And I'm looking at the top 10. There's Davido, there's what? And I'm there sitting at number 4.
When was this? I think Davido was not out there then.
No, he had a song. I think it's
Oh, Damiduro, yeah.
I think it was
2011.
Yeah, somewhere there.
Okay.
So, those are royalties there.
Yeah. 100%.
You know what I mean?
Or 100%.
Those are royalties. So if that revenue is not coming back here, what am I doing for my economy?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I think that's one thing that we need to fix.
Yeah. What am I doing for my economy? So imagine if every individual that's producing that's like an intellectual property from Zambia, made in Zambia. I need to, if I'm going to fix my surrounding, it starts from the nitty-gritties such as those. You understand what I'm saying? If that revenue comes back here, I put it back into my system. You know what I mean? I pay my taxes. And everybody else is doing the same. What are we talking about? We're talking about a different spectrum of youth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We won't be going out there talking government this, government that. The government needs us. You know what I mean?
Wow, that's a very, that's even I knew about this. I'm even enlightened more, and I think it's something that we need to look into, like on a deeper level. But this can only happen if you and I and just people from our generation kind of educate. And I like you, I try to reach out to the younger generation producers and try to explain to them. This could be your time, and it's always nice to have the time when you have the hype. But you also have to start making money. You're not gonna survive on hype dies. Yeah. Hype dies, and
into great revenue. I mean, we even the Bible says we're here to toil the ground. You know what I mean? So no matter what you do, no matter what passion, it's amazing if you're doing something that you love doing and it's paying you. As opposed to you getting a job at 9 to 5 and you're doing stuff that you don't love.
Yeah.
If you're not into numbers, then you go and become an accountant.
Yeah.
Trust me, you're not giving it your 80%, not even 80%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
Of your commitment. You're not.
Yeah.
You need to do something that you love. There's another person that loves numbers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let them deal with it. Let them deal with the numbers. You know what I mean? And you work together.
That's true.
Everybody, we need accountants.
Yeah.
We need lawyers. You know what I mean? Just as much as they need us to be their clients.
Unfortunately, we don't.
Yeah, but
that's why I say that's how small our industry is.
Yeah, but you see, what makes it small is starts from those nitty-gritty.
The mindset and
so we need to this conversation. We need to even take it to Ministry of Information.
Yeah.
If at all we need that collective effort of bringing in people that can help us structure the industry starting from.
So we need to start from scratch.
Scratch.
Everything needs to be structured. So we need to use the template that the world over is using.
Exactly.
So we can say, for example, take like a South African template or like a US template. Let's not even go to US. Let's just take, for example, a South African template.
Man,
run with it. This is how they do it.
I went to Samo, dude. Those people are serious. It's a serious organization, dude. The information you give them as a publisher, to be a publisher, first of all, you have to be registered, obviously. You know what I mean? With like the way it is here with PACRA or whatever. You get a certificate. Dude, they follow those things to the core. You understand what I'm saying?
That's true.
And then you look at people like Casper Novest, you look at him doing well, and then you say, I want to go to South Africa. No, we can do it here.
Yeah.
But what is it that we need to do here that they are doing over there that we're not doing here? You know what I mean? That's the question that we need to ask ourselves. And then it starts with those little things. You know what I mean? Once we start sorting out those things, believe me, this industry is going to change.
True.
Right now we make our money, we find ways of making our money. We do.
It's not easy. It's not easy. But listen, that's one thing that you and I have had this conversation, working to make sure that we set the future for, our children and just, people coming after us. I think we've done a lot of work. And
it might not be a popular idea right now, because believe me, I have got this thing. I don't know if I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I believe that there's obviously somebody who doesn't want people to know.
Yeah. No, it's
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
there's somebody building a house in Chalala off your money. Oh. You get what I'm saying?
Listen, it's not a secret.
But you see, one thing is that they don't realize
is that.
But you see, one thing they don't realize is that in as much as they're doing that, there could be more money that can be generated. And everybody will be happy.
But selfishness, that money is going to one person because...
Yeah, and it's not even enough.
Because you don't know. Because
it's not even enough.
And you see, that's why we say knowledge is power. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't understand that there's a potential to make a lot of money. Like, for example, like you, from your catalog, from where you started off from. Look at people like Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's children are set for life. The catalog is rich.
Do you know what the problem that Michael had with Sony?
Yeah.
It's because of his catalog.
Yeah.
He owned the Beatles. He owned the Beatles.
Yeah.
How do you own
He
the
was
Beatles?
thinking about that way before.
He's got his Michael catalog.
And he has the Beatles catalog. That's crazy, man.
Yeah. You know, if Sony had to pay him his money, they're probably going to be giving away half of their company.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's power, man. That's power.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, I'll take it back. Artists that we sign, you know, this was a big thing. And you know, I still get people calling me, okay, we should sign. And personally, you know, I've had so many bad experiences signing artists, because what I realize, and I'm gonna say this openly, what I tend to realize is, you start, you know, when an artist comes humble and everything, and you know, they're trying to get to something and contracts, and you know, what I do know is, like, even if you bind somebody to a contract, if his mind is gone, no matter what you do, you force, and you know, at the end of the day, you won't even enjoy doing your work, because one person is on the other side, you're on the other side, so it becomes difficult. So in the end, it's just all the work, like for example, 2 years work that you put together is now void. It becomes void because all the hard work. I've had so that experience. So all of us we have, and this is where I say, for me, in 2014-15, I actually almost quit. I almost went into depression, because it got to a point where I just got so frustrated. And my studio then was like down there. I got frustrated. I kind of temporarily locked it down, you know. So I had to gain new inspiration. Then I bought new equipment. Then that's how I branded this place and started all over again. So when I was starting, for me, because I had this conversation with the late LBC, I said, you know what? I need to figure this out, you know, because for me it's frustrating, because I don't see how I'm going to make money through
LBC had a very good idea.
Yeah, because I mean, he was in the UK, he saw something.
Yeah, you know, LBC told me one
thing. He's the one who told me how to start making my own music and selling it.
Exactly.
I got that idea from the late LBC.
He told me the same exact thing. And you see, that's why I commend you on this diary thing. And we've had this conversation. You see, ownership is very important. You see, when you do a song for an artist,
you have no ownership.
Right now, as I'm speaking to you, I'm having an issue. There's an advert, not an advert, but an awareness song I did with these ladies. Okay? I didn't even care who was going to be on the song. I had an idea. I wanted Kantu on it. I wanted, I called Wezi on it. Wezi couldn't make it, whatever. Kantu was ill. I bet she's feeling much better now.
Yeah, she is.
So, So this guy tells me, oh no, I want these ladies to come over, man. Let them come and be on this track. Because I told him I needed a track for females, just female alone, you know. So these ladies come over. We do the song, right? They only did their verses. They only did two, like a verse each, of which the verses that we wrote for them. Okay. Then the other artists couldn't make it, so there's two girls.
Is it the one I know? Is it the same one we did together?
No.
No, this is different.
This one's different.
Okay.
Yeah. But don't worry, it's got a KB touch. I sampled you a bit. Yeah. So anyway, so I got these two girls, beautiful girls from just behind where the house is. Yeah, they can sing. I always hear them sing. So I decided to put them there, and they made it brilliant. We wrote them the chorus and whatever. So I sent this track to this organization, and those girls have got influence. So apparently they went there and took control, and according to them, they pushed the song and it went through. So now when I also did a song with the guys, which I sent there as well. I was just sending via email and whatnot.
So when I went there, I was told, oh yeah, you got 2 songs. Yeah, whatever. Then, so I said, oh okay, so I'm gonna quote, I have to quote for 2 songs. So I left a quotation. And these girls got a bit uncomfortable. Like, no, we the ones who push this song, it's our song.
But I'm the one who put it together. I'm the one who...
so I'm like wondering, I'm like, what's going on here? And it's not even like I've got a problem paying them what they feel they deserve.
Yeah.
We're going to share. I mean, at the end of the day, whatever's going to come out of it, let's share. You know what I mean? So it comes back to that ownership thing. Yeah. You see, at the end of the day, ask yourself, what have I done in this song? You know what I mean? You see, sometimes we look at the end product. You look at Trevor Noah, and you say, wow, Trevor Noah is the best. But you don't know who's behind the scene, who makes him look like he's the best.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's a collective effort. And you see, that's one thing that we need to understand here, is that to achieve certain things, you can't do it alone.
Yeah.
Look at credits to a song. Just a song alone. You know,
writers,
I've seen songs with names even as much as 13.
Yep.
One song.
Because even
you only hear 3 people rapping on that song or singing or whatever.
But when you
see the credit sheet, 13 people. You understand what I'm saying?
You and I don't get a lot of credit. You know that we are actually even writers, and you know sometimes I give melodies to artists.
Yeah,
like, for example, like,
that's writing right there.
I'll come and just do like a sing with my chile, just sing like
I was telling you about
line, and you know somebody.
I was telling you about Quincy Jones, for instance. You know, Quincy Jones writes music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's where it starts from. You see, the aid of computers has made it easier for us to make this music without writing. But in those days, you have to write. So that melody in itself is written.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It's on score.
Yeah.
You get my point? If you don't get that score right, then the song won't be right.
Yeah.
So you're writing. That's why you're a composer. You understand what I'm saying?
So
but people don't see that.
New school producers, this is something that you can learn from. You know what I'm saying? I mean, pay attention and do it right. You know what I'm saying? Do it right, and let's do it right. And you know, it only starts from us. And you know, our industry is growing, and you know, let it grow the right way. As we conclude, I want to know who are you listening to right now? Like, who's really, really impressed you? And I'm also going to tell you.
Here in Zambia?
Yeah, of course. It's locally. We just
there's so many, man. Yeah. There's so many. That's a very broad
But
question.
there must be one or two that just come to mind immediately. Like,
there's so many. Man, I listen to Chef. I listen to T-Sean. I listen to, man, there's so many.
Yeah.
There's so many. Even your boy Big Busy is doing some good stuff.
Yeah.
Man, it's very hard for me.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. There's a lot that is popping right now.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I'm also very impressed with, you know, I've been having this conversation with, I don't know if you know the producer called Easy, the producer.
Easy is one of the boys that has been calling for contracts and whatnot. I think I shared a contract with him. That boy is great. You know, he did track 13 on Chef's album, right?
He did a lot of tracks. He did Grammy Nachiba, but he did a couple of songs.
Yeah, he's hard. He's hard.
You know, and this is how I know. Just having a conversation, you can tell that these new school producers are well researched. You know, our time we didn't have a lot of those.
You see, the difference between them and us is that we really didn't have many people to look up to.
Yeah.
So it's hard for you. It was hard for us to pick up a call.
Yeah.
And pick up a phone and say, let me talk to this person.
No, but I would call you. I was like,
you call me.
I would call you. I would call Blazer. You know,
I had like my brother. And there's that Francis Mwinga. Remember Zintuastic Studios?
Yeah, of course. The name.
Francis Mwinga used to help me out a lot. My brother Kevin used to help me. There were very few people I would call. I remember, me and Kula used to...
James
and Elijah.
Yeah.
We used to compare notes. At that time, I remember they were in Roma too.
Yeah.
So we would compare notes. That's the same way like we would. But, you know, we really didn't have a lot of people to call. Yeah.
What happened? There was a time you on radio,
Yeah.
Where is he, though?
He's around.
I need to have him on the
show. Radio is my Bululu now.
Oh, for real?
Through marriage, yeah. My brother married his cousin.
How sweet.
Yeah. And that was after we were hanging out or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm always radio.
Okay.
Yeah, so you know, a lot of these new cats, they'll call me like, hey, you know, they're like Easy, you'll be like, hey man, contract that Shani Pakutna Wamba Shani, and I'll tell him, hey dude, you know what I mean? I'm gonna send you something, but this is how you go about it. And if you need any help, holla.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, he does well. You see, when a person does well next to you,
then the possibilities of you doing well are very high.
Yeah.
And that's how I look at it.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? For real.
So shout out, this was like a producer's conversation, and we are here to say that, the future is bright. Honestly,
It's bright.
People like Kikero, people like Stash, these are guys with incredible minds, and
there's so many.
Yeah, I think
right
we're gonna
now,
have like a really
even that boy, what's his name? Mohsin Malik.
Yeah, he's also coming up pretty good.
Coming up pretty good.
Yeah,
coming up pretty good. There's so many right now.
I remember he used to send me stuff a long time ago.
For real?
Yeah,
he's been in the game for a minute, huh?
Well, he was trying to get into the game. I remember he would send me some stuff for me to listen. He was pretty young then, but Tishon kind of brought him in, and I'm happy that
I like the way they're doing
things are popping. So big up to all the upcoming producers. But I hope you learned something, and this is something that can help us all.
Shout out to Tony Breezy.
Yeah, Tony Breezy too.
Keep it in.
Yeah, another great producer.
It's
a jungle. Jazzy Boy also.
Jazzy Boy, the Shanky there.
Yeah. Oh,
Chester is now a politician now.
I'm not going there. Okay, that's it.